All right, I'm gonna kind of make the quick and dirty version. Um, Basically, I'm just gonna show where all the screw locations are, what you're gonna have to do to get this thing off. Once you get this, the upper intake manifold, it's easy peasy. It's like any other straightforward deal. It's just knowing how to get this off can make you want to pull your hair out. So this is what it is. Obviously, I've took the manifold cover off already. And then so you have, starting on the left side, you've got 1, 2, 3. It's under this thing. You got to pull that deal out. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Right in there. So once you get those out, you're halfway there, but you're still not done. If you look down here, you're going to have to get this radiator hose out of the way. So what you need to do, take off this nut, take off that nut, and then back here, it's really hard to see, but there's a nut here, and then another one. It's 2 back here, just like the 2 up front. So you got to take those nuts off as well. So now what happens is, even though you got all these screws removed and all those nuts off, it's basically wedged between these clamps here, and then that clamp in the back, that bracket actually, not clamps, the bracket. So these brackets are basically holding it because this stem of this nut here, it's wedged in there, and those are wedged in there, so you can't get it out. Racking my brain, and then I finally realized that. Let's see if I can get some light. Okay. Right here, you pull this little plastic off of here that's just kind of holding this wire bundle out of the way. You pull that off, and then you get to that bolt. It's a bolt with the nut on it. You start spinning the nut, the whole bolt will start coming out. Take that bolt out, then that'll allow you to move this bracket. And that's the rear bracket. That'll allow you to move that bracket completely out the way. Here's the other nuts right here. So here and here is where these nuts are. Right there and right there. That's the 2 back ones. So you get this bolt out of here, then this bracket will be free. Once that bracket is free, you can now lift this up and get it on out of the way and get it out of there. And by the time you do that, you'll be changing your spark plugs like any other situation, easy peasy. And once I knew all of that, I got it apart, changed out the spark plugs. Took me 10-15 minutes to put it all together. It took no time. But just because I didn't know the exact procedure to get it apart, I mean, it probably took me 2 hours with a lot of time spent going back to Google and YouTube trying to figure out how this all goes. So hopefully this will help people out. I'm gonna put a little bit more in-depth video of me actually doing all this. I don't know if it'll help you because I was pretty lost my damn self trying to do it, but hopefully it'll help you out, and that's all I got. All right, to figure out what's going on with this check engine light, I'm using this free app called Torque, and obviously with the OBD reader, so it's connected with the ECU. By the way, I got this thing on Amazon for like $22, so I got that going. So I'm using my Torque program. I'm gonna go to fault codes. I'm gonna go to I believe show pending faults. We'll see which one. Okay, the pending fault is P0301. So I can just click on that. So it's letting me know cylinder 1 misfire detected. And I already knew that. That's why I'm making this video though. So this check engine light is telling me about a cylinder 1 misfire. Okay, and then I also have low tire pressure somewhere. So I'm gonna get this stuff situated. All right, we've got a manifold cover here. It just pops off like that. The rubber areas it pop onto. Set that to the side. Try to just leave that in place if I can. We'll see. This comes off here, and that comes off there. And to take off this, to change out your air filter, simply got a clip there, clip here. There's also one here, and this kind of just lifts up and pops out like that. I'm not going to take it all the way off, so I'll have to put it back on. But that's that. I got some kind of weather stripping or something kind of coming off here. Okay, so what I need to take off is this intake manifold right here. And it looks like it does use these T-stars, but it's also a head of a bolt. Let me try to show you that. Okay, if you can see, right here, here, and a few other places. I believe there's 7 of them. They're gonna have to come off, and it's probably hard to see in this camera, but inside there's a T-star pattern, and then but the outside is just like a bolt. So I'm gonna use whatever seems to work good. So I'm just gonna take off all the screws that I see that definitely is holding this whole assembly down, and then we'll just go from there. Got one of these magnetic holders. As you can see, holds the screws in real nicely, and the whole little dish is magnetic, so you can stick it on something, don't got to worry about it falling off. Alright, I want to show y'all something real quick. Alright, kind of let you see where I'm at. The battery over here, air filter over here. As you come up, over, you see, alright, this little deal right here, it's not a screw, it's basically a pin, like a locking little mechanism pin. And I'm going to show you how I got that off. I just stuck it back in there a little bit just so I can show. What I did, took some pliers, I just grabbed a little deal, squeezed it, and just pulled it out. And so that's that. And the rest of the little assembly. So what it is, that goes down there inside that hole. You can see it. See, this goes down inside the hole, and then this little square pin goes in there, and as it goes down, it makes this wider to stop it from coming out. So that's what that's about. Alright. Now, pretty much I've been having quite the hell of a time to get to these spark plugs. But here I've got the resonator. That was the piece that was right here, connected with the elbow on its way to the throttle body. And you can see here and here are 2 little posts. Those posts basically was holding these was snapped over those posts. These are two little rubber deals. So once you get the elbow off, you get the elbow, which is this hose here. Once you get that off, this almost looks like it's clamped on here, but it's not. You can kind of just maneuver it out the way, and you kind of just can pull it up and forward. You pull it up and forward, and you can get this whole thing out. There was like a zip tie connecting some hose to this, and I tried to pull it out. It had like a little deal, but it ended up snapping, but that's gonna be all right. So got that out. Just put that over here. All right, it looks like I finally found what's gonna be needed to get this thing removed. So as you can see, battery here, just help you with orientation. Battery right here, manifold here. So over on the side, we had this deal right here, which is look like just a wiring harness. But anyway, if you could see this little deal right here, it was over this bolt. So what you need to do is pop this off, kind of get it out of your way, and start undoing this bolt. As you can see, I've used a so you can see it's like a bolt, and it's the nut, bolt, stud, the whole thing. I used a 12mm socket wrench. No, 13 actually. Sorry, he's a 13. But see, now that allows this bracket to move away. It looks like there's some zip ties on some other wires. But as you can see here, okay, right here is these bolts here, and there's like a retaining ring right there. So no matter how many times you spin this, it's actually not coming out of here. It was actually back in this little piece of plastic back this way, and I was scared that something was going to end up breaking. So now that I got this bracket out of the way, yep, and now we finally got some movement. And let's see. So as you can imagine, or even guess, took some of these deals out. You can see this little red thing needs to pop outward, then you can pull this out. I guess it's some kind of a lock deal. Comes right off of there. Pop the red deal out, now you can pull it out. There's a few connectors that needs to come out, but I pretty much got everything out. But it looks like this one thing is going to be an issue. But let me see what I can do. My hook broke off my light, so now I'm trying to work with it the best I can. Oh yeah, this thing here has a little clip on your radiator hose. If you can, just slide it sideways, you can get it out. Let's see if I'm even in frame. Okay. This clip here, if you can slide it sideways, I had a problem sliding sideways, so I ended up using two screwdrivers, one prying it back this way, the other one pried it up, and I was able to get that out of there. Just about got everything. I'm gonna have to try to pop that out. A lot of times they don't come out, they end up snapping off. Let's see what we can do. Try to pop it out of here. It actually popped out without breaking, so that was good. What else do we got one more with the hose. Yeah. So hose back here. It's not a clamp on there, it's just pushed on there. Crap. Got a wrench down in the bumper. And my arm is too big to get in there, so I have to figure out a way to get that out of there. It's really not a good idea to probably keep tools up here. Drop them down in the car and can't get them out. Alright. This is your brake booster, so what this is. Your vacuum pump just assist in vacuum pressure to help assist with your braking. Alright, well, I'm gonna work with this a little bit. We'll get this thing off though. Okay, I ended up not taking that hose off. I just kind of moved it all to the side. It doesn't look like it's under too much stress or anything, so I think that's gonna be good like that. Some, places I found online recommend sticking rags down in here. That just, I'm sure it's fine, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Also, but if I drop something down in there, I'm sure I'll be hoping I did. Wish I did. But at least for now, I'm not gonna do it. Maybe you'll see in a video later I have done it. I'm getting squeamish about it. But anyway, under here are our 6 spark plugs. So got this little clip in here. As you can see, you kind of push down, and probably got to use 2 hands. Maybe I push with one, pull with the other. We'll get those off, and gonna have to remove those bolts. Then we'll be actually finally getting down to the spark plugs. All right, I've got all the bolts out of the ignition coils, I believe they're called, and so I'm gonna pull one out. Try to grab it at the base and give it a little twist, and try to grab as much of the boot. Okay, there we go. All right, here we've there's no oil and stuff, so that's good. But if you can see there, it seems like some, and maybe I did that just when I came out and touched it, but overall it looks good. And this is the number 1 cylinder. This is where I was getting my misfire. So the way these go is 1, 3, 5, and then 2, 4, and 6 is the cylinder numbers. So if you get your error codes on those corresponding numbers, you know where to go. In this car, they make it so difficult to get to it, and it's not like on the older cars you could pull one out, start the car up, and see what you got, and see if it's actually sparking, and then put it back in and do all this other stuff. Clearly, you're not gonna be starting this car like this. So you pretty much replace it all, put it all together, and hope for the best. And if it doesn't work, pull it all back apart and start looking at maybe the fuel injector, so on and so forth. But most likely it is the spark plug. It's just I've got 80,000 miles on this car, on this van, and it's a little early, but with all your ethanol in the gas and whatnot these days, it's not too strange that we could have a spark plug, fouling up and giving us problems at this point. Now I've got my ratchet with extension and my 5/8 spark plug socket. So I'm gonna go down here. This is number 2. And kind of push down on there. You can feel the spark plug going into the little rubber boot that's inside the spark plug socket. And these are nice and easy. Quite enough yet. Thought I had it. Just kind of finishing off with my hand. Got it that time. Okay. Now, I'm no expert, not even close, but it's just a spark plug. I mean, for 80,000 miles, it doesn't look particularly bad, I guess, but they're coming out. This isn't the one that was giving me a problem. So this one was okay, and it looked like this. So we're gonna compare that to the one that's giving us a problem. It may show us something, it may not. Here's a new spark plug. Got pretty bad lighting, but I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of anti-seize on here, just very lightly. There is some controversy if this is even a good idea or not. I don't see what a little bit's gonna do. I've seen YouTube videos of people who supposedly are mechanics. I mean, they got full get up and they just caking the crap on there. And I'm sure a good mechanic wouldn't do that. Because these things supposed to be made and coated or something. They supposed to already not seize. So just a little bit, just to make it a little bit even nicer. I think it's perfect. Take spark plug, set it down in there, and get to going. Pretty long-winded threaded little spark plugs. Now, as far as how tight you want to get these, I just heard nice and tight, whatever that means. Well, I heard get them as tight as you can get them, and then with your hand, and then give them like another quarter turn. So that's about that quarter turn right there. And it seemed to be nice and tight to me. They definitely was not super tight coming out, and it seemed okay. I'd already put this one in, but when I tried to pull out my socket, my extension kept coming out of my forget what these are called. So what I ended up doing was using some electrical tape and just connecting that, and now we're in business. And I'm gonna show you the reason why. I had to use this little deal that gives me this type of articulation, because there's not a lot of room here. So with this allows me to go down in there, and then I can still get the spark plug in. All right. Check out the dash. It's kind of blurry. Still got the tire pressure error up there, or warning. I think it's something wrong because I just aired up the tires, checked them all, and I'm perfect. So I might have a problem with a air pressure reading sensor. But anyway, as you can see that the check engine light is gone. I've got my OBD 2 reader going, and I've got my torque app up on my phone. I'm gonna go to fault codes. I'm gonna go to show logged faults. It's connecting with the ECU, requesting fault codes. And I don't know if you can make it out, but it says no fault stored in the ECU. And it is connected. So, you can see the acceleration. Anyway, it's done. The car is back in shape. I just got to figure out this tire pressure deal, and I'll probably say that for another day because it's getting dark. But this was